My name is Karen. I'm going to help Frank doing some interviews this weekend. I'm sitting here with Julia Ostertag, and yesterday we saw the documentary Noise and Resistance. Julia, welcome. Hi.
Thanks.
Can you tell us a little bit about the documentary we saw?
The documentary Noise and Resistance is a collaboration between me. I already had a film in this festival. I'm very honored to come back. And another director called Francesca Reisa-Andrade. It is my third documentary. It's her first documentary. And we are both part of the punk DIY hardcore scene here in Europe. And we found that there is no punk documentary existing that features that part of the scene, which is based on anti-capitalism, self-organization, collectives that put up concerts together and all of that for a political reason. And we found it very important to set like a visual monument for that part of the punk scene, because a lot of people say or think punk is dead, and that's not true.
Is there, in your opinion, a lot of difference between the punk now and the punk in the 70s and 80s?
Well, that question is a bit hard for me to say. I'm born 70s, so I don't know exactly what punk was about in the 70s because I didn't live it myself. But I was totally infected by the punk movement and also by the DIY thing. That means to do things, you know, with the thing. To set up things and to do art, for example, with what you have and not ask for money and not in order to make money with it. So I would say the spirit is still the same.
The fact is, if we want to break the political system, we can't do it with something which mirrors the political system.
The battlefields have changed over the years. Do you think the things they fight for now are a lot different?
I think, as you can see in our movie, in our documentary, that the topics what punk or what activists are fighting for depend on their surrounding. So you can easily see that Eastern Europe is about different subjects than in Western Europe. For example, like the people in Russia are totally focusing on the anti-fascist thing because they are threatened by the massive neo-Nazi movement in Russia nowadays, whilst Spain has a history of anarchy and they still carry those ideals, and Barcelona has been the city of squatting, I think. So I think squatting and anarchy is a subject of Spain, while in Sweden there's a really alive feminist activist scene, so we featured that. And I think the subjects change with the countries and the generations.
It's like not only being against what society is around us, but wanting to like build up an alternative. We live here in wagons. It's not a building, it's a wagon place, but we're going to be evicted soon, in the next few months.
Well, in the documentary you set a very positive picture about punk, about the punk culture today. But how is it received by the punk society by itself, if there is a punk society, something like that?
Well, the so-called punk society. First of all, I find it really important to say we didn't make this film like as preaching to the converted, like to have it only as a film made by kind of punks for punks. That was never the idea. It was part of the idea, sure, that we also would like to see a film like this being made, but we also wanted to make a film that is totally accessible for people that have been related to punk, that are interested what punk is about.
You could say, don't call it punk, call it a movement of people doing something different. And therefore, all these people who are different are individuals, individually deciding what they wanted to do differently.
I'm really hoping that in the future there will be more women filmmakers here, because right now and for the last 2 days I'm the only female director who is present, and if I have a look at the program, then out of approximately 30 films, there are 3 films made by women.